If somebody was to ask you, what's your child good at? What is your child's strengths? Would you be able to answer them? And I'm not talking about they're good at making a mess. They're good at not eating the food that you have just made for them. But looking at the things, whether social or anything like that, what are your child's strengths? Should we know them and why? Hi, and welcome to Learning Life, as today we are looking at your child's strengths, knowing our children's strengths, because it is really important. It's great for us parents to be learning new things that we can be doing to really build up and encourage our children. And this is one of the reasons why I make these videos. And so thank you for liking and for subscribing and for telling your friends about Learning Life. Well, why? Why would we want to know our children's strengths? You know what? A lot of parents don't actually. As a teacher, I found this, that if I was to ask parents, what's your child good at? They didn't really know. It's not something that we often sort of sit back and really think about, usually until we've asked. But there is a great reason why we should know our children's strengths, because our children need us to believe in them and what they can do. They need us to believe in them and what they can do. It's not about us pushing them into things that we think they should be doing, but it's letting them operate in their strengths. Because when we do that as adults, doesn't that make our life better? So why not help our children operate in the things that help them to be better, that are their strengths? Now, recognizing and talking about that, it really helps them thrive. Actually talking through with them, I've noticed you're really good at that. Does that bring you joy? Or, you're not so much really fond of that, but I've noticed that you're good at it. Wow, what if we help them to define and discover their talents, boost up their confidence and really help them grow in that from a young age. Now, there are 6 sort of main categories that we tend to put strengths into, though yes, we can break them down even more. Of course, we can always break things down, but let's look right now at the 6 main strengths categories. Personal. This is like positive personality traits, things like kindness, thoughtfulness, curiosity, our empathy. Now, these strengths usually come naturally. They're not something that we necessarily build or develop. They're often more part of who we are, but they really can be great strengths. Social. This is all about how your children interact with others. Are they good listeners? Are they a good friend? Can they see who in the group needs to be included, and can they draw them in? Social strengths are a key thing, and there are some children who are stronger in these than others, and that is okay. We need them. Language. This is strong vocabulary. This is good communication, being able to sort of communicate what they mean with clarity, just even from a young age. This is what I want. This is why I want it. Those language strengths are great for really understanding what it is that they want. So this is a good one. Literacy. English, reading, writing, strong memories, advanced imaginations. So literacy, yes, imagination is part of literacy. Can they tell a story? Can they do this? There are so many strengths within literacy. It's really fun to watch those strengths develop in children. Math and logic. Are they good at puzzles? Can they count, sort, organize, all of those things that really categorize, like in math? Can they do really mental math problems in their head? How are they at calculations? So many different little nuances there in math and also in logic. It's really interesting to see those logical thinkers when those strengths come out. And others, or talents. Musical. Are they musical? Are they sporty? Do they like to volunteer? Those sorts of things fall under the other or the talent category. Now, there is one that is not often included, and I think that it really should. And I think it can be a great strength even from a young age, and that is intrapersonal intelligence. Ooh, big words. this is understanding our emotions and being aware of our emotions and our feelings and our motivations. Intrapersonal intelligence, being aware of who I am and how I react, is really a good thing. I've been working on that with my girls and just helping them build up their intrapersonal intelligence and realizing that how I'm communicating different things, I have to do it differently for each of my girls. One idea presented in two different ways. And so I think that this can be a really great strength and one that can be developed and built up in our children. I wish that I had learned a lot of this when I was younger because you know what? Even as an adult, I sometimes really struggle with being aware of my own emotions and how I'm handling that and the motivations behind them. Now, you might have heard about the StrengthsFinders test. I've done it a couple of times, haven't changed. I love knowing my strengths. I love knowing what is a good motivation, what is going to help me when I'm operating in that. And for the longest time, I've been I wish they had one for kids. Guess what? They do. They now have Strengths Explorer for kids. This is really designed for children between the ages of 10 and 14 that will highlight and bring out for them their top 3 sort of talents, their top 3 strengths. And this is great. It's great for teachers too. You get a parent report and you're oh, wow, this is my child. I want them to discover who they are and what they can do and build into that. So that's actually a really great resource. Strengths Explorers for kids as part of the StrengthsFinders. But maybe you don't have, the time or you don't necessarily want to pay for something like that. That's okay. Or maybe your child is younger than 10. I'm going to put the link down below and also on my website to a fantastic list I found of over 160 different items. You just go down the list and you check off the ones about your child. And it's already broken down into many different categories like personal, social, language. They have cultural in there. And you just check off so that you can see your children's strengths. Because when we know that and we see what's bringing them joy and satisfaction and helping them to thrive, isn't that a great thing? Isn't that what we want for our children? I know I do. Because I know when I operate in my strengths and somebody believes in me, I feel so good. And I can do that for my girls too by knowing their strengths and helping them develop them. Well, if you have more questions about strengths, please feel free to reach out to me. Drop me a comment, send me a message through the website. I'll have the links both to Strengths Explorers for kids and that other list. Take time to actually go through and work out your children's strengths. What are they good at? What can they do? And maybe then look at how you can be building into them for that. Well, thank you so much for watching today. And I hope that this is something, another little tool that you can be using to just help you in your parenting, because that's what I want, and to build this community. And thank you for being part of this community by watching. And also, you could be a champion and help us to get these videos out. You can do that through patreon.com or through my website, learningthis.life.